Hi, this science video is for you 7th graders. We're in chapter 6, lesson 1 of this book here. We're going to do half the section today, and the other half of the section will be on Wednesday. So let's get into it. Fossils and evolution. So the first thing, one of the questions in your Google Doc is going to ask is, what is a fossil? Instead of me reading it to you, I'll let you pause the video and you can practice some of your reading. Another question is going to ask you, what is a paleontologist? Paleontologist. And what do they study? Literally, the answer is right where my finger is. I'll let you read that on your own. Sorry if my video is a little dark. One of our light bulbs in the room here went out, so hopefully I can change it for next time. Also, this might be it's not too graphic. You guys can handle it. This is sort of what happens when an organism, something that's alive, decomposes into the ground. So sadly, as you can see, yes, this is a dead rabbit. And yes, we are the Stevens Jackrabbits. But on May 8th, when the thing died, when the organism died, the thing that's alive, this is what the body looked like. 11 days later, that's what the body looked like. A month later, that's what the body looked like. And 5 months later, that's what the body looked like. That's called decomposes. Stuff in the ground, worms and other bugs and insects will help eat it. It gets sucked in and absorbed by the dirt, and you sort of become one with the earth. I know it's sort of weird to think about that, but yes, sometimes things decompose. Sadly, there's a lot of people throwing trash and litter on the ground. See, trash and plastic don't do this, so that's why being a litter bug and keeping our planet clean is a good idea, because trash doesn't decompose like this. It just, that chip bag or that candy bag or that bottle stays in that form for a long time. And as you know, it usually goes to the oceans. The fish think it's food, and here we go. Next part is, when do fossils form? I don't think there's really a question on this in your Google Doc. So let's go to the next page. Now, one of the questions for sure, because I wrote the questions, is how do they formed? I talk about this P word, permeabilization. I talk about this R word, replacement. And I talk about this C word, carbonization. Carbonization, I said that funny. Carbonization. I also talk about molds and casts. You might want to freeze your video here. It's going to ask, what's the difference between a mold and a cast? Let me zoom out. Maybe that might help a little better. Let me see. Maybe, there you go. Maybe freeze it there. Pause your video there. They're going to ask, what's the difference between a mold and a cast? And also, if you want to pause your video. Let's see. Sorry about the lighting again. Oh, look how nice the person highlighted the answer for you. That was nice. And the last part of our section, our video, and then we'll do the other half next time, is, okay, what do fossils tell us? So if a paleontologist is someone who studies the ground and fossils, and okay, they see this in the ground within the sedimentary rocks, usually out of sight, usually got to dig for this kind of stuff. Okay, so what? Someone might say. What does it tell us? Are we able to find out how old it is? Can we find out maybe what kind of an organism or living thing it was? Can we maybe find out a little bit about the species and maybe find new animals and organisms we never knew? Well, that's for next time's lesson. So to summarize here, and you have a copy of this in your Google Classroom, you're going to be asked, what's the difference between a mold and a cast? And this is a picture of a mold. And this is a picture of a cast. Think of it like a cast. If a kid breaks his arm skateboarding or scootering, and you have to put that hard cast to keep your arm in place, think of it like that. A mold is something that artists use too. It's like Play-Doh. You sort of put it together as a mold. Maybe that might help you. To summarize too, it talks about how are they formed. So you might want to pause the video here, or earlier when I talked about it. We talked about how things decompose in the ground over time. And then we also talked about what are fossils. So hopefully this video helped, and I'll see you next time.